Andrew Knisley and Jody Mitic are competing in one of the world's toughest rally races. It's called the Targa Newfoundland. Speeds hit 200 kilometers an hour. Cars slide and even experienced drivers crash. Jody and Andrew are severe underdogs, not just because they're amateurs. Jody is missing 2 legs, and Andrew's missing a leg and part of an arm.
Can we talk about the day you got hurt?
January 19th of 2009.
26-year-old Corporal Andrew Knisley's right leg is in Afghanistan, courtesy of the Taliban.
There were literally bombs everywhere. It was a really, really terrible time for IEDs.
IED, or improvised explosive device, is a Taliban specialty. Homemade, deadly bombs that are hard to detect. Andrew was training Afghan police, but he regularly found bombs.
The morning that I got hurt, it was just one of our regular presence patrols to walk around, talk to people, see what's going on in the village. There were seven of my friends in front of me that walked over the exact same spot that I did, literally stepping on the bomb. And as soon as I passed it, it was detonated. I actually flew in the air about 15 or 20 feet, and I hit the ground face down, and I'm like, you know, kind of shaking. I said, holy shit, that was close. And then I saw that my leg was bleeding very heavily.
Andrew's friends were there in seconds. They tied off his leg and arm to slow the bleeding.
I'll never forget the one look my friend gave me. He looked at me like he was looking at a dead person, and it scared the hell out of me. I said to him, I said, you know, Jason, don't look at me like that.
The nearest chopper was an hour away, a long time to watch your friend bleed.
And my friend Mike kept talking to Jason, get on that, when the hell is that chopper getting here? Like, I can't stop this bleeding.
So the helicopter finally arrived?
Got on the chopper and I immediately relaxed, and I said to myself, I'm on the chopper. My friends know I'm okay. Whatever happens now happens. If I don't make it, I don't make it. I know my family's gonna be taken care of.
Andrew was rushed to a hospital in Kandahar. He came out of a drug-induced fog 2 days later.
I asked the doctor, I said, I did lose my leg, and he's like, wait 1 minute, and he walks away. Well, in that minute that he was gone, I kind of gave myself the check, and okay, yeah, it is gone.
Andrew's leg was amputated at the hip. His arm was left permanently damaged. The military gave him a lump sum as compensation. He invested most and had some left over. He bought a fast boat and a fast car. And he can honestly say they cost an arm and a leg.
You know, it is great I have a sports car, but everything that I've received for being wounded, I would give back tenfold to have my leg and the use of my arm back, because you can't put a price on that.
These days, Andrew celebrates life as much as he can. He's moved back to CFB Petawawa, where he has friends that only a soldier who's faced death can truly appreciate. Hardened soldiers learn to laugh off near misses. It's tougher on people like Ruth. She's Andrew's sister, and she's about to meet Josh Bedard, the man who saved Andrew's life.
But yeah, well, Josh is one of the guys that was there when I was hurt, you know. But yeah.
Thank you. I know without you, we wouldn't have him and we wouldn't be here. Since the first day it happened, I wanted to know who was with him and who was right there, and it's nice to put a face and a name to why we still have him. They're very important to us, whether you know it or not.
Andrew doesn't mourn for his leg. In fact, only one thing makes him emotional, something that happened just 3 weeks before he got hurt.
Sorry.
It's okay. Tell me what's upsetting you. What is the memory that's upsetting you?
One of my friends didn't come home. And that day I was, you know, just sitting around eating breakfast. and listening to the radio, so all of a sudden we heard a huge boom. And everybody looks at each other, and we're like, uh-oh.
The Taliban ambushed a nearby checkpoint. They killed 5 men. 3 were Andrew's friends.
You have a job to do. And it wasn't the first time that I had seen situations like that, but it was the first time that a friend of mine got hurt.
Now, Andrew has a plan to help the guys who get hurt. He says the reason he's so active is because of something called the Soldier On Fund. It helps injured soldiers by paying for fitness programs, training, and sporting gear modifications. It's supported entirely by donated cash.
Anything that I can give back to the Soldier On Fund is my way of at least saying thanks, because they've done so much for me.
So Andrew's not going to sit around. He has a crazy idea to help Soldier On by racing a car in the Targa, Newfoundland, a huge rally race. But he needs a partner. Lucky for him, another Soldier On fan fits the bill. Jody Mitic drives a fast car and a motorcycle. He bikes and runs races. None of that seems remarkable on its own, but that's because it's easy to forget that Jody is a double amputee. Jody was a sniper in Afghanistan, fast, strong, and 6'4", until his life changed forever in 2007.
4 in the morning, we had night vision on, and as we walked through a farmer's field there, and I turned and I stepped, and that's when the device was detonated.
When did you realize that you'd lost your legs, or you were going to?
Well, like, the guys didn't pull any punches at the scene, right? They were like, well, your one foot's pretty much gone. So we tourniqueted the leg and bandaged it up. But once the medic arrived, he was like, well, your other leg, it's pretty beat up, but you know. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe my heels, you know, so maybe it's just like the toes on one side and broken leg on the other.
But it was much worse than that. Jody was rushed to a hospital and into surgery. When he woke up, he was hit with a second bomb.
When I came out of from the anesthetic, I guess, that's when the doctor said, you know, like, I couldn't save either foot. I remember being like, oh, and that's about all I could say. And I went, well, they said it was there, and he's like, yeah, well, I couldn't save it.
Both legs were amputated below the knee. The military outfitted him with artificial limbs, and for a while he thought he could go back into combat, until reality set in.
I was coming up the stairs with a basket of laundry, and I tripped. Fell against the wall, and I righted myself, and I fell against the handrail and trying to save this basket of laundry. And I stopped, and I put the laundry down on the top step, and I went, man, I can't walk up the stairs with a basket full of laundry, and I want them to let me go back to Afghanistan.
Although the explosion took both Jody's legs, it gave him 2 gifts in return. He met his wife, Alana, at the scene of the blast. She was a medic. And now they have a baby girl, Ayla, who has softened the heart of a man trained to kill.
I don't know where point in history that raising kids became unmanly, but I gotta really disagree with that, you know, attitude. I think handling your kids has got to be the manliest thing you can do.
And there's nothing easy about handling a 2-year-old if you're missing your legs. Pushing a wheelchair down the hall of his Ottawa home can be near impossible.
When I don't have my legs on, I am wheelchair bound. It's not easy. And yes, I can crawl around the house, but that's not very dignifying. I take the knee pads and I'll put them on my knees and then get down on the floor and crawl. Occasionally, like, Ayla will wake up in the night and I hear her, so I'll go into Ayla's room like that. And sometimes it's confusing for her because Daddy comes in, he's 4.5 feet tall, and sometimes he's 6.5 feet tall, so.
Walking down hallways might be tough, but despite that, the soldiers are ready to speed down highways. The Targa is just 3 months away. Not a long time for amputee amateurs to learn how to race a car.
Next, close calls and dead ends.
What happened? Well, the forest got in the way.
The race is on, and even the trailer park boys come out to watch.
I can't believe you guys passed the breathalyzer this morning.
When CTV's W5 continues.
This is the Calabogie Motorsports Park west of Ottawa, where dozens of drivers are learning to race. It's a challenge for anyone, but soldiers Andrew Knisley and Jody Mitic have additional hurdles to overcome. While most drivers rely on their ankles to work the pedals, Jody doesn't have ankles. And Andrew has to use his left leg to work both pedals. Still, their goal is to compete in the Targa, Newfoundland, to raise cash for injured soldiers in just 3 months.
What I'm about to explain is a pretty inspirational story. I'd like to introduce two of our soldiers.
Their spirit caught the attention of retired top soldier General Lou Mackenzie.
These guys, representing a significant number of soldiers that have suffered serious amputations, are really great role models for the rest of them. They've been very inspirational. So thanks very much, and any support you can give. We want to hear that again when they hit the wall coming out of corner.
Mackenzie knows racing. He raced and won at the Targa in 2004. He's volunteered to mentor the soldiers. And when race school ends, he likes what he sees.
I'm blown away. I really am. Both of them, I had no idea how they could cope so well that they're every bit as good as the top students here that are actually taking the race car driver's course.
The general puts on a brave face, but many are wondering how two rookie amputee drivers are going to compete with experienced Targa racers. Targa is Italian for plate, which is the trophy you get for finishing. And finishing ain't easy. The race covers 2,000 kilometers, veering through downtown streets, over beat-up roads, and along cliffs.
Few places offer the combination of beautiful ocean scenery, winding roads, and lots of towns willing to shut down their streets and let dozens of roaring, speeding cars take over. But Newfoundland has all three, and Newfoundlanders, they don't seem to mind a bit.
St. John's, Newfoundland, the day before the race. Hundreds have come to see the souped-up cars that'll roar across the province for the next week. The donated car Andrew and Jody will drive has not been modified for their amputations. But W5 has wired it with cameras inside and out to catch every moment.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Rock, paper.
Oh! Yeah! 2 out of 3.
So Andrew drives tomorrow.
All right.
The mood seems light, but the two are nervous. The night before the race, Jody tells his video diary his main goal is just to finish.
You know, we know we're not going to win. Well, you never know, right? Never say never. But we really want to get the plate.
Every morning starts with mandatory breathalyzers for everyone.
0-0.
While other teams fine-tune their cars, Jody and Andrew have other equipment to fine-tune. Finally, 58 cars line up in the rain, and one by one, they peel off. Jody and Andrew patiently wait their turn, and they're off. Just before lunch, the first taste of just how perilous this race can be.
What happened? Well, the forest got in the way.
And that's not the only crash of the day. This Datsun took too much speed into a turn.
There was water everywhere.
Race official Trevor Williams was just a few meters away.
These fish tubs is what saved the day, more or less, right? So, but it was a bit of excitement for the day so far, anyway.
Jody and Andrew not only avoid crashing, they actually have something to be pretty excited about.
We've basically been kicking ass all morning. We've been catching up to cars all day. Nobody's caught up to us so far yet.
The next day, and a testimony to just how prepared these race teams are. The Subaru that crashed is once again roadworthy, stitched up like an old goalie's mask. And the soldiers are doing better than expected.
We found out we were running 12th out of 22 and second in our class, which is not bad, which is pretty good for a couple of amateurs. Yeah.
These amateurs keep their cool, even when the race gets tricky. In Gander, the cars rip through downtown, sometimes just a few feet from brave fans. By midweek, the Soldier On team has a rival. This Kia has managed to stay ahead of them all week. Changing that is all they can think about.
Kia stands for KIA, which is what we're going to do to this guy today.
I'd like it if he was MIA.
While the boys strategize, the drivers of the Subaru hit another obstacle. Literally. They've crashed again, with a more dramatic result. Luckily, no one was at home at the time. It's a good example of why these cars need roll bars and drivers need helmets. Both the Soldiers and their rival Kia drivers have managed to race cleanly. But then, another dramatic twist changes everything.
So we just finished stage 2, and it looks like we picked up a piece.
It's a piece of the piston. No, I swear to God, look at it.
So the Kia blew his engine, and as we went by, apparently we picked up
shrapnel. What is it with Army guys and picking up shrapnel? I don't know. That's the back side of the cast piston.
Check out our tire.
You can hear that hiss?
Can you hear it?
Yeah. That's the hiss of death. That's not a yes. That's the thing.
Amazingly, that shrapnel actually prevented the tire from going flat. And more amazingly, these novice disabled soldiers end the day in first place in the large engine category. The boys aren't just having fun behind the wheel. Every night, hundreds of people jam local arenas to meet the drivers.
Oh man, you're a race car driver now. You are fast.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you. Good luck, guys. Good luck to you.
Yeah,
that's very nice.
Canadian comedy actors Rob Wells and J.P. Tremblay, better known as Ricky and Julian from the Trailer Park Boys, are also competing. And they've become fast friends with the Soldiers.
I can't believe you guys passed the breathalyzer this morning. Yeah, no kidding. That's work.
The Trailer Park Boys get mobbed at every stop for autographs. But Jody and Andrew are also signing their fair share. And even better, people are giving them autographed checks for the Soldier On cause.
Every dollar counts. Thank you.
By the end of the week, the Soldiers have $70,000 in donations. They're tired and happy, but not too happy. They know that one wrong turn can quickly take them from first to last.
Obviously, we're ahead of the Kia now. He exploded. Bad way to get ahead, but we'll take it. I felt bad for maybe about 30 seconds.
By the last day of the race, their goal is to stay on the road and not let anyone pass them. Finally, they hit the last stretch. And at the finish line, something remarkable has happened. These amateur drivers, with just one leg between them, have finished first in their category.
Nailed it, brother. You're done.
And 7th overall out of 58 cars.
You don't become a hero going to Afghanistan having your legs blown off. These guys are heroes because what they did after they lost their limbs. Because if I was in their situation, there's a good chance I'd be sitting home feeling sorry for myself. And what I need are people like this.
You finished. What do you think about how well you did?
Not only did we finish, we came first in our class.
Is that shocking?
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
You did incredibly well. What does that mean? What kind of a message does that send?
Well, it shows what Soldier On is all about. The recovery that's possible and just pushing it to the limit, you know, getting that fire back in the belly.
Never mind the handshake. Well done.
Awesome.
Well done, you guys. Well done. That's great.
Yeah.
On top of the amazing finish, they've raised more than $100,000 for Soldier On. And they're already planning to race again next year.